Hello and welcome back to the Opening Kickoff, your new favorite show to watch every single week before the NFL week gets started. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you can be here every Thursday at noon getting our game picks before the week gets started.
We owe an apology to the fans, to the people. Last week was a shitty episode. We can talk about that real quick. My Type-C hard drive failed. I had to get a brand new one that's like triple the cost, half the storage. Hopefully that helps the situation, please. It's not the $500 cam switcher. We apologize for that.
But we got a banger this week. We're going to make up for the lack of last week. It's going to be a good episode. All those problems are behind us. We're going to get Matt back on soon, and it's all going to be fine. And this is going to be the best episode we've ever recorded, so it's going to make up for the worst episode we've probably posted.
So perfect. What's your yays and nay of the week?
So I got 2 yays. My original yay before, I figured everything out. My Super Bowl happened yesterday, if you were curious. The Cowboys.
That's your yay?
I got 2.
Okay.
I got 2. That's what I just said. Cowboys came out, got absolutely decimated by the Lions. Not only did it get me up another pick in our game picks, the Cowboys, oh my God. Dak Prescott loves throwing it to the other team. You could have gotten Derrick Henry, but you signed it Zeke. That's a bar. Until Jerry Jones is dead, you're not going to get a ring. That's another bar. I just love watching the Cowboys lose, and watching them lose like that in front of everybody just made my absolute Sunday. Didn't get to watch the Vikings play, but I think I'd rather watch the Cowboys get decimated than the Vikings squeak out a win. My other yay is going to be that I went undefeated in this week's game picks, and I told you guys the greatest comebacks require the greatest deficits. I was down by like 5 or 6 points, 5 or 6 games at some point, and now I am back up. We'll get more into that later.
Not back up. You haven't been up at all.
Okay, but we'll get more into
up by 2 now.
We will get more into that later. My nay is probably gonna have to be the Aiden Hutchinson injury. That shit was honestly really sad to watch. When he got hurt, I was like, damn, Aiden Hutchinson's hurt. That sucks. And then I saw him getting carted off the field. He's probably not gonna play the rest of the season. And honestly, although it's not a career-ending injury, he'll probably never really be the same player he is again. He's not gonna be as explosive. It's
a tibia. That's hard.
I mean, he's going to have to get, metal put into his leg.
Yeah,
he's just never going to be the same. I do think he'll still have a good NFL career, but he was on, the projection to have one of the best defensive NFL careers. Maybe not, best top 3 ever.
He's a sack leader this season.
Exactly. So it just sucks seeing, such a talented player go down with such a hard injury that's probably going to affect him, for the rest of his career. But now we can pass it to you for your yays and nays.
My yay! I might be wearing the jersey. But we owed him! Bucks dropped fit. Dude, this was we looked so good, but there's a little 10%.
Yeah, the first half was getting sketchy.
No, the first half. Second quarter was the only quarter that was bad. But without the punt return, that
the Saints scored 27 points in the second quarter,
minutes?
in the second quarter alone.
Crazy.
That's crazy. But hey, y'all dropped a 50 bomb. Y'all made it.
On the Saints defense, too.
It looked bad for a second, and then it was okay, yeah, the Bucs.
Baker had a pick. Jalen McMillan dropped a hard pass. Why are you running halfback option routes with Jalen McMillan? Why, we don't got any other receivers to do that? Hold on. Sterling Shepard, I love you. He had so many penalties this game. 3 drives in a row, first down, he had a penalty. When we were getting kicked in, where it looked like we were going to lose, he just kept killing us, dude. And it's I love Sterling Shepard, but get on that shit. My nay. It's a pretty good week to have. There's not a lot of nays.
I know. It was hard for me this
Without
week.
Aiden Hutchinson, man, there wasn't a lot of injuries. Everybody played a lot of healthy. So I'm gonna make a kind of semi-positive nay. This is a good week of football, dude.
This is a damn good week of football.
There was no upsets.
There really weren't any
upsets.
That's
my name. There was no upsets.
There really weren't any upsets. There were a couple games that could have gone either way, which is the reason there were no upsets. Because if the Commanders beat the Ravens, I don't think anybody would really consider that much of an upset. If the Cowboys beat the Lions, I don't think people call that much of an upset. But, just no upsets. I mean, it was a weird week. It was a good week.
It was a good week, but kind of boring. This might have been the most boring week.
There were a couple, like the Texans-Patriots game. That game was fucking boring.
Game of the week might have been Saints-Bucks.
Maybe. No, there was a good game this week. Actually, you might be right.
It might have been game of the week.
Yeah, I mean, Packers
look great.
Bears destroyed the Jags. The Packers destroyed the Cardinals.
So before we get into anything else, I want to get into Lennon's thoughts of the week.
All right.
Because this is always funny because we think so differently. All right. So Harrison Smith versus Eric Weddle. Who has the more prolific NFL career? What do you think?
It's hard to kind of get into that because I'm not much of like a stat
Eric
watcher.
Weddle has a ring. Is the only.
That's what I was
argument.
just about to say. I'm not much of like a stat watcher. I mean, Harrison Smith has been very consistent through his very long career.
Minimum 10 years.
But and the thing is, you also like it's weird factoring rings into like a safety's position because I don't think a safety is the most important position on the team. I think they have pretty comparable careers. I do think Harrison Smith being this like consistent for this long does make me impressed, but I also like Eric Weddle. I was a lot younger during some of his career, so it's just kind of weird. Like I didn't like in my
Both
younger years.
legends.
In my younger years, I only gave a fuck about watching the Vikings. I probably didn't even know who Eric Weddle was. So I mean, obviously to me it's Harrison Smith, but I really think like
when I
don't really
watch
know.
Harrison Smith play, it's a lot like Eric Weddle. Calls the defense. He's the one calling the defensive plays, which is crazy. He's the leader of that defense at this age. Sorry, crazy. But that was the first one. Maddox, you owe Deontay Johnson an apology.
I do kinda owe him
Dude
an
can
apology.
play ball, and I've been saying that.
He can kind of play ball. He did impress
He's the
me a
number
little bit.
one. He's the number one receiver.
He's a number one, but I don't think that's impressive. Whenever you're competing with Adam Thielen and a rookie,
He's within top 20 number ones. That's kind of hard to
we'd
say.
have to get
But
further
he's
into it.
close.
I doubt it. We'd have to
He's
get
up
further
there.
into it and kind of break it down to really get into that.
He's a dog.
I
When he gets
doubt
good
he's
balls.
top 20. I think he'd probably be one of the better receiver twos on many teams in the NFL, but I don't think he's a
Wait,
really
do you
good
not agree
receiver
you
one.
owe him an apology?
I do. He
'Cause
is
you
better.
said he was a terrible receiver.
I did say he was a terrible receiver. I do slightly owe him an apology, and he's making it work with Andy Dalton of all quarterbacks too. So definitely owe him slightly.
What is
slight
impressing
apology.
me is these goal line fade balls he's really good at.
Bring back the goal line fade. I know it's not the analytical, statistical play, but bro, we're trying to watch a fun game. Just throw more goal line fades. We need it.
Shout out
I
Mike
need to see
Evans.
it.
All right. and
Shout
then
out
on
Calvin
top of
Johnson.
The Panthers. We're going to disagree. I guarantee you. I think it's official. Bryce Young, I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying anything. I know you disagree. But I want I want you to at least
I already know what you're
agree
going to say, and it's
partially.
wrong. I know what you're going to say, and it's wrong.
I think the Panthers are the problem.
No.
The
Okay,
Panthers
no.
haven't looked
You
good
know,
except
you're
that
right.
one
You're
game.
right. You're right. I will partially agree because the Panthers aren't still winning games. The offense looks 200 times better without Bryce Young at quarterback. If Bryce Young is at quarterback at that Falcons game, they lose by 20 points. They made it a game until the fourth quarter because they had a quarterback who knows at least somewhat how to play the position. I'm not saying Andy Dalton is some god, but he's better than Bryce Young, and he manages to make the offense work. The only reason I owe fucking Deontay Johnson an apology is because they got a different
Andy
quarterback
Dalton.
in the offense. Bryce Young, he literally, if he doesn't go somewhere with somebody like McVay or Shanahan to like coach him and revive his career, he's he doesn't go to the Rams or the Niners or some team like that with a quarterback heavy coach this season or next season, he will never revive his NFL career and will go down as one of the biggest busts ever. He was the problem.
I don't think he was the problem.
He was the problem, 100%.
I think that first game Andy Dalton started, it was obvious. Oh, Bryce Young's the problem, and you'll agree with this. Every week, that theory is getting less and less.
But you also got to factor
They
in.
look, dude, the play, dude, I love Dave Canales. Hey, wait, Jadavion Sanders?
He's not that good.
He balled last week. He had like 7 receptions for
yeah, but
74 yards.
Here's the thing.
Hold on. I said he was going to be the leading receiving tight end out of rookies. He's second place right now. Not too far
Okay.
off.
We get,
He looked good.
I don't
Hold
even
on.
care. I
He
know.
looked-
I
he
agree.
looked
I don't
good.
even care about the Javion Sanders thing. I'm more on the Bryce Young thing. Let's think about the Bengals, right? The Bengals are what, 1-4, 1-5. I think it's 1-5.
They're 2-4 now. They won last
Oh yeah,
time.
they did win. So they're 2-4, right? Other than the Giants game, which sucked, these games they're putting up 20 to 30 points every week, and their defense can't stop anything. Since Andy Dalton has been the quarterback of the Panthers, I don't think they've scored less than 20 points. I'm not comparing Andy Dalton to Joe Burrow in any way. I'm more comparing the Panthers to the Bengals. Their defense can't stop anything. Andy Dalton is putting up points. When Bryce Young was in, it didn't matter how many points the other team scored because he couldn't put any up. The only reason the Panthers are still losing these games is because they can't stop anything on defense. If they had a competent defense, Andy Dalton could probably get 6 or 7 wins in that Panthers offense. No matter what defense you give Bryce Young, he can't win more than 2 games.
But you agree with what I'm saying. Slowly but surely, we're learning. Andy Dalton is not a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's not a legend anyway, but
Like,
he's proved that he's competent
respectable.
enough to play
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Exactly. But I'm saying, like, that's a good guy for Bryce Young to learn from. We're learning. I think we're slowly learning Bryce Young might not be a buzz because the Panthers suck so bad. Can you admit it just a little bit?
No, but you're not
Panthers
listening
are
to what I'm
so
saying.
bad. The Panthers are so
Lennon, if the
bad.
Panthers had a defense, they probably would have won 2 of their last games that they've lost.
If my aunts had nuts, she'd be my uncle.
Okay,
That's your famous
you're right.
quote for
No,
the
you're
podcast.
right. You're right. But how many points was Bryce Young putting up with the Panthers? He couldn't score more than fucking 13 points a game. Andy Dalton is scoring more than 20 points every
But
single game.
How many kills, how many audibles is Andy Dalton running? And this is me being wrong. So this is me being, what's the word where you're like wrong in the past? This is me being
I don't know what word you're looking for. Just use the word wrong.
wrong. This is me being wrong. Dave Canales might be kind of ass. I don't think he's a head coach.
I think it's weird judging head coaches on their first year. They're still kind of learning everything.
True.
And David Canales is pretty young too.
I think he's a great offensive
I
coordinator.
think give him some time and give him a quarterback that isn't Bryce Young that knows how to play football. I think he'll be fine. Give him some weapons on defense.
Do you think Bryce Young? What do you think the Panthers' plan is for long term for Bryce Young?
I couldn't tell you what their plan is. I can tell you what they should do, and it's trade him now because you benched him.
Get a fourth, third round pick for him.
You benched him week 3. If you had plans to make this guy your franchise quarterback, it would have taken way more for you to bench him. I think trade him now. The longer you wait to trade him, the less they care about his college film, and the more they care about him sitting on the bench.
I think the Dolphins might send you a fourth or a third for him.
I don't really see the Dolphins doing it. I see a team with a veteran quarterback doing it that really only has a couple years left. The Jets, the Rams, something like that. Somebody where he can sit for like a year or two.
The 49ers even?
No, not the 49ers.
I can see the 49ers doing it.
Maybe if they want to be a backup, if he wants to go somewhere he's going to play, it's going to have to be somebody with a vet. Because, like, if he goes to the Dolphins, yeah, he's going to play these next few games while Tua's out. But when Tua's back, unless he gets hurt, Bryce Young's not seeing the field. There's just no point.
So we were on that for a little bit, guys. Sorry.
That's right. This is going to be a long episode. We owe it to him.
We do owe him. All right, next topic I have is Caleb versus Jaden is actually becoming a conversation now.
It really is. Honestly.
Caleb?
He looked pretty good.
This might have been the best week between him and Jaden Daniels.
But if I'm being honest,
the win was bad.
I think almost any starting quarterback in the NFL could look good against the Jags defense. It's that bad.
Okay, but
so hang on. Are you finally over your Jags thing? They're not finishing with a winning record. They're terrible. They're not winning the division. Are you finally over it?
I don't know what the problem is.
I can tell you what the problem is. It's Doug Peterson.
That sucks.
And they don't give him any weapons. I mean, Brian Thomas, I do think could be a true wide receiver 1 someday.
He needs some time to develop.
The offseason moves, like there was no point in signing Gabe Davis. He's the wide receiver 3 at this point. Like they don't give him a true 1. I mean, I get they try to get it through the draft, and I do think Brian Thomas could be that guy one day, but we're not going to get to see it until Doug Peterson's out of there. You won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and since then, you're washed, buddy. Get the fuck out of the league. Sorry.
No, you're good. But I think Caleb might be better than Jaden.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Caleb. It was a very impressive performance, but Joe Flacco dropped 34 against the Jags, and Joe Flacco's in his, 40 years old now?
But I think Joe Flacco's good, so I don't know if that's
Joe Flacco is good, but he hasn't looked that good against these other defenses. It's literally the Jags defense making him look good.
What about, I guess the Panthers was a week before.
I'm still leaning Jaden Daniels. He did lose to the Ravens.
Caleb's
no, he is. But Jaden Daniels, even though he didn't beat the Ravens, they haven't really played like too many crazy teams that they beat. They played the Bucs, but they lost to the Bucs.
Yeah.
When they beat the Giants, they didn't score any touchdowns. I think this is kind of, hey, you're playing
Bengals.
a really good fucking
Bengals
team.
is a good one.
That is true. That was a pretty good test. But I'm talking more about defensive side of the ball. He hasn't played many.
Ravens.
Exactly.
Ravens, he looked like not shit.
No, he didn't look like shit at all.
He looked like a rookie.
I think he had a good. No, I think he had a good game.
He looked like a really good rookie.
Exactly. So my thing is the Ravens as a team, they're going to score points on offense, and you're going to actually have to play a defense who's going to do something to stop it. And I think him only losing by the margin that they did was pretty impressive from him. So I'm still leaning Jaden Daniels, but Caleb Williams has been impressive the last couple weeks.
Caleb Williams might be rookie of the year at the end of this. Who knows?
We'll see. I probably think it goes to Jaden at this point still.
It depends. Here's the thing.
Caleb hasn't really done anything against any good teams yet.
Schedule.
And Caleb has to play the Vikings twice a year, and he's throwing 2 interceptions each of those games.
I think Caleb's easily, which is crazy. Caleb's easily in the harder division, which is crazy.
The North is the best division in the league.
You would not have guessed that at the beginning.
You're 100% right.
Crazy.
The NFC North is the best division in the league.
All those teams are probably playoff teams.
The team that's losing the NFC North is 4-2.
And they're the Bears.
Isn't that insane?
Or is it the Packers? Who's technically considered
I think
last?
the Bears are technically losing. I couldn't tell you 100%. I think
it's
because the Packers have a division loss, and I don't think the Bears have played in Division 2
And
yet.
then let's get on this. Can we talk about Lincoln Riley? But, dude, his last 5 quarterbacks who coached under him all started in a game in the NFL.
No, Lincoln Riley.
And he was like, I was kind of telling Annie how crazy that is. She's like, well, doesn't Alabama have that? I was like, Annie, this is unusual to hear about.
Well, Alabama has a lot of players that come out of there just because of their program, but
crazy.
Alabama quarterbacks suck.
And
Lincoln Riley, no.
Oh, it's not even his last 5. It's all 5 as a starting head coach are starting a game in the NFL.
No, Lincoln Riley.
Think about it. Baker started the whole year. Kyler started the whole year. Jalen Hurts started the whole year. Spencer Rattler started some of the year. Then Caleb started some of the year. That's 5 quarterbacks. And they all started last. That's insane.
No, fuck Lincoln Riley, but, dude, he can fucking coach a quarterback. Like,
or is it...
I mean, I'm going to say no.
I'm Sooner born, I'm Sooner bred, and when I die, I'm Sooner dead. Rocklahoma, Rocklahoma, Rocklahoma! Okay.
I'm going to say no because Caleb really only played like 1 full season for us, and Spencer Rattler didn't really, do much for us.
He played a
at
full
all.
season.
I know, but he didn't do much is what I'm saying. They really,
learn from
but
programs.
I think what Rattler did in college was what from he learned from Lincoln Riley, but I'm not going to say it to you. I'm going to give the credit to Lincoln
We're
Riley.
not a college football podcast. We'll say this one thing and one thing only for Summer Mertz.
Oh, you sucks.
We don't sucks is a little unfair.
No,
but
we
like,
suck.
how crazy is it that Texas is clearly a better program than us? Our whole life. When have you been able to say Texas is clearly a better football program than us?
Not when I was
Never.
a kid. Last 2 years has been pretty easy, dude.
Not last year. We beat them last year. This is the
but
first
they're still
year.
a better program. They
But
were in the
this is the
playoffs,
first
and we
year.
were nowhere
Hold on.
close.
The first year since 2005 when I was 3, when they made the Rose Bowl against you.
Are you dead ass trying to tell me they weren't a better program than us last year when they were in the Final Four and we weren't close?
We had 3 losses. They had
Yeah.
2. They had 1, and it was us. They were a better program, but I'm saying it's crazy that like NIL with all this money that Austin has is becoming a better program.
No, it's
but
just
we're an NFL podcast, so let's get into picks this week. Maddox made a little bit of a comeback. You were down 5 at a point. Was your most?
I think 5 was the most, and I was down 2. No, I was down 4.
2 last week.
Or
You were down 2 last
going
week.
into
Maddox
this
made a
week.
comeback. We'll eventually talk about his scores, but he's up by 2 right now. The Jets choked, which really sucked. That would have made us even. I'm 47-38. I'm sorry I forgot to write the records of last week. I had 4 losses. Every other thing else was a win. That only difference we had different. Bears, Jaguars. I had wrong.
I didn't doubt it for a second.
I'm done picking the Jaguars.
I've been trying to tell you the Jags suck, dude. And it was in London, and that's basically
Cardinals,
their home field at
Packers,
this
man,
point.
I felt really confident about that one.
I'm pretty sure last week I said that was the game I felt most confident about.
Cardinals, Packers.
And they destroyed them.
That was bad.
Roll the tape.
Jordan Love's washed.
I can't lie. I'm going to regret saying this. I think I feel very confident about this game. I really do think the Packers are going to take it.
It was bad. Cowboys-Lions was a wishy-washy game.
What do you mean?
I felt like there's 4 out of 10 universes where the Cowboys win.
After that game, you think there's 4 out of 10 universes.
2 out of 10.
I'll give you that. My prediction was that it was going to be a shootout, but what I did say is I thought the Lions were going to kind of be blowing them out, and the Cowboys were going to score garbage time
No, it was
touchdowns,
bad.
and they
Didn't
weren't
even
even
happen.
they weren't even able to get
Didn't
garbage time touchdowns. The Cowboys, y'all up, get rid of Jerry Jones. You paid Dak $240 million to throw a bunch of interceptions. Like, oh my god.
I want to say one thing. Liam Cohen, Todd Bowles, Baker Mayfield, December 22nd, the opening kickoff, and Mrs. Opening Kickoff, a.k.a. Mrs. Goodtime, are going to be at the game. Give us sideline passes. Go ahead. No problem. I'm the world's biggest Baker Mayfield fan. Ask anybody I know.
World's biggest NFL show, too.
We beat the Lions, and the Lions blew them out. If we don't fucking win, Annie and Maddox are not coming into Midland.
Here's the thing, though. You can't even use that logic in the NFL because, bro, it's literally any given Sunday. And that's why I love it. Like, obviously, I want the Bucs to win.
All the teams are really
I
competitive.
want the Bucs to win. Do not get me wrong, but you can't even use that logic because the NFL is just so weird.
And then the last game we're on, Jets, Bills, so close. Aaron Rodgers played really good.
He did play pretty good.
His
Josh
team
Allen.
sold him. His team sold him.
The Bills were running the damn ball. I'll tell you that much. That was, I think
with no James Cook.
And I think they learned their lesson from last week. They're like, hey, Josh Allen went 9 for 30. Maybe let's run the ball. And that's what they did. And it worked. I will say the Jets had a pretty impressive game. Hey, I told y'all, Robert Saleh needs to get fired. Nathaniel Hackett is a terrible OC. Guess what? Robert Saleh got fired, and Nathaniel Hackett wasn't calling the plays, and the Jets actually played a pretty good game. It's almost like I know everything. That's why I went undefeated this week. Sorry.
But the one episode you went undefeated, there's no evidence because they got cut out.
Our game picks were still in the last episode.
True.
There is evidence. Get shit on.
That's
But there's there's no evidence of me saying Robert Sala and
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett need to get fired.
Let's get into, before we get into our picks for this week, we're starting a new segment. Shout out Underdog. Sponsor us on the podcast. And every week, you don't even have to pay us. Give us free bet money.
Yeah.
We'll shout you out every week, and we'll suck the CEO's
This
dick.
is called Locks of the Week.
Locks of the week. All right. Bo Nix. Over 0.5 rushing or receiving. This is the one where you had to get a little bit, they're gonna get close, and I think Bo Nix is gonna rush one in. You have to have a little bit of a hot take in a spread. That's my one. Spencer Rattler over 183.5. I think easily the Broncos have a worse defense than the Bucks. Might be a hot take. I think they have a worse defense, if not similar to the Bucks. And I think Spencer Rattler is going to get more comfortable. And I think Spencer Rattler throws for 200 yards. Dude, 183 for an over is insane. Spencer Rattler, you don't think he's going to throw over 183 yards?
No.
Watch
I'm
him.
more into strike. You just said the Bucks have a better defense than the Broncos. The Broncos have been one of the best performing defenses. I mean, they didn't play very good against the Chargers last week, but every other the Bucks defense sucks ass, and the Broncos have a
And we have a defensive minded
and the
head coach.
Broncos have a very competent NFL defense. That was one of the dumbest things I think.
Fire Todd Bowles. And then my last pick is Alvin Kamara over 0.5 touchdowns, any touchdown. It pays $25 to win 180. That's my bet for
Did
the
you
week.
make your bet? My lock of the week, first pick, Bo Nix over 0.5 passing touchdowns. I mean, I don't think they're going to drop a bunch of points, but I think Bo Nix is likely to throw at least one touchdown. I'm not going to consider this like a lock compared to these other picks because Bo Nix could very likely not throw a touchdown if that St. Stevens plays good, and he didn't. I don't know if he threw a touchdown last week. I think he did throw one to Cortland Sutton because it was a really good catch. Next up, I have Spencer Rattler lower than 212.5 pass plus rushing yards.
Wow, that's crazy.
This is pass plus rushing, too. So
Yeah,
212 is the line. Rattler did look decent against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers defense sucks ass.
Okay.
I don't know what this guy's talking about. You're playing against the Broncos, who have been one of the more competent defenses in the league. Pat Surtain did go out a little bit with an injury last game. I don't know if he's back or not, but honestly, I don't think it matters much. I think Rattler, this is his second game starting. I don't think he goes for 200 yards in any universe. And then last pick, I have Javonte Williams lower than 47.5 rushing yards. I think since the injury, Javonte Williams just isn't the same guy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jamal Williams.
No.
That'd be a
Javonte-
lock too, though.
Well, yeah, his line's probably 20 rushing yards, though.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams, lower than 47.5
I like
rushing
that,
yards.
too.
St. Stevens has been pretty impressive this year. I'm not going to say super impressive, but it's been decent. And I just don't see a world where Javonte Williams gets 50
The
rushing
one
yards.
thing is, we ran the ball all over them last week, and we suck at running the ball. So I'm not saying I don't think
But
that's
y'all
not
did that
a
with
lock.
Bucky Irving. I think Bucky Irving is a lot more
No,
talented.
Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker.
By the way, who the is Sean Tucker? I didn't know who he was until that game.
All right. If I'm the Bucks GM, let's trade Rashad White for another good depth receiver.
Y'all, the most y'all could get out of Rashad White is a 6th-round pick.
We could get a depth receiver. Some guy.
I mean, depth.
Give us
depth
Braxton
receiver.
Berrios, dude. Give us a guy like that.
I would probably rather have Rashad White than Braxton
But, like,
Berrios.
Yeah, dude, Bucky Irving.
And you know
and
me, I'm a Rashad White hater. I would much rather have Rashad. He's a threat in the passing game.
Yeah.
More
but-
than Braxton Berrios is, honestly.
Well, how you're using Bucky for these slot throw passes? That needs to be Rashad White and Sean. Dude, we got to give the ball to Sean Tucker more. He looked insane. He
did.
looked better than Bucky Irving.
I genuinely had no idea who he
He looked
was.
so good. He looked so good. So that's our picks for the week, locks of the week. Don't trust us. We suck at gambling.
I lose all my money on Underdog. Do not tail my picks, but these are my locks of the week.
Not tail my picks.
Huh?
Don't tail my picks.
Don't tail my picks.
All right, let's get into the games for this week. So Thursday night, we got Saints Broncos. I'm wearing a Saints jersey, but I got the Broncos. Let's go. But this is my only if. Maddox has changed his picks this year, so we should be even because you changed from the Ravens to the Bengals. But that's fine. If Spencer Rattler,
I didn't have it written down.
if Spencer
bro.
Rattler somehow doesn't start and Derek Carr does, I'm changing. Wait,
I think that's fair. You're saying if Derek Carr starts, you want to pick the Saints.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I got the Broncos no matter what because I think the Saints have more of a chance of winning with Spencer Rattler.
Okay. I also have the Broncos winning. I think it's a very low-scoring, very boring game. Shout out Thursday Night Football. You're going to fall asleep watching this game, but I think the Broncos...
Hey, Sean Payton against his former team. Prime time.
Yeah, but Sean Payton and the Saints. I think the Broncos barely win
Kevin James played him in a movie?
Sean Payton?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Was it for like the...
a Netflix movie, that like movie about his son?
Was it for the Bounty Gate?
Well, kind of. It was like when he got suspended for the Bounty Gate and he coached his son. It was Kevin James in that movie. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, Broncos win in a very close, low-scoring, ugly, boring-ass Thursday Night Football game.
All right, next game of the week, we got Patriots-Jaguars. The Jaguars are they London's favorite team or something?
No, they've been playing in London for like years. Like,
are they London's favorite team is what I'm saying. Maybe.
The funny thing is at the Bears game, it was almost like the Bears were the home team. Like when the Jags had the ball, it was loud in there.
Who you got, Patriots-Jaguars?
I have the Jags. The Jags, they suck, but the Patriots suck worse. I think
Drake May looked pretty good, though. Better than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he looked good. He threw one good touchdown. The rest of the game, he kind of looked like shit.
I think you have 22 guys on both sides of the football. Drake May you got to keep. Maybe 5 others. Everybody else replace.
By the way, you have 11 guys on both sides of the football.
Well, I'm saying 22 total.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying
out of
5 out of 22 are probably starters next year.
Yeah. The Jags are bad, but the Patriots are worse. And the Jags offense is capable of scoring. I think they're probably going to put up like 30 on the Patriots, and they're just not going to be able to keep up.
All right. Vikings-Lions. Lions. Vikings-Lions. I really want to hear what you have to say.
I got the Lions. Here's the thing. I think the Lions aren't going to be able to do what they did against the Cowboys. We have a much better defense than the Cowboys, and I think our offense is going to look better too. I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, it's in the division. I just think the Lions are one of the best teams in the league right now, and I think the Vikings are too. I just think we're due for a loss eventually.
The fact that this is a new game is criminal.
Yeah, but before the season started, nobody knew the Vikings would be 5-0.
Jets Steelers.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Before the season started, I would have expected this to be a new game. Nobody thought the Vikings were going to be 5-0 at this point.
This is going to be a really good game. I got the Vikings.
You have the Vikings?
The defense.
The
defense. Here's the thing. We'll get into our top 10 quarterbacks, and it sucks because I was a Jared Goff shitter on at the beginning, and I'm no longer showing Jared Goff.
Realize how most of the takes that you've had that I've always disagreed and yelled at you at have come full circle, and
I know, and now I'm worse at picks now.
Yeah, so now you have nothing on me. You have nothing.
And I know more. I do know more football than you.
No, you know more about the Bucks than me, but you don't watch enough football because you're always busy watching the Bucks.
No, I guarantee you, if we did a list, like if we did a competition in NFL knowledge, I'd beat you easily. Easily.
You probably have useless ass stupid knowledge though.
True, but I think I could name more NFL players than you could.
I mean, maybe because you probably know stupid ass and useless players.
Exactly. It's just more like, dude, the Vikings.
You don't have shit on me.
The only reason is Sam Darnold's look pretty good. The Lions' defense is not mediocre. They're a C to a B minus.
I'd probably give them a B. Pretty decent.
Right? You know what I'm
without
saying?
Hutchinson, throw the minus in there. B minus.
Oh, shit. And Hutchinson, too. And I think the Vikings' defense is insane, and they're the one defense with these blitz packages that could throw off Dan Campbell. Shout out Dan Campbell. I love Dan Campbell. The only time I ever said Dan Campbell, and I said I was joking, I said Jared Goff and Dan Campbell, and I said I'm kidding because I like Dan Campbell a lot. Dude, Dan Campbell, did you see he's like 8 out of 11 in fake punts in his career in the NFL? And like, so he's attempted 11. The whole NFL in the last 2 years has attempted like 16.
That's crazy.
He has attempted more fake
problem with this game
in 3
is
years than all the other teams in 2 years.
My problem is with this game, as good as our defense has been, I don't see a world where we stop the run. I don't see a world where we shut down David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think David Montgomery is their RB1. Is what's crazy.
Oh, he should be. He's insane. And Jahmyr Gibbs is a dog too.
Underrated.
They have 2 RB1s.
You know what we've never talked about before? Like ever.
Oh, like, the escape pod?
The escape podcast. Have we talked about this?
You have told me this.
Underrated Chicago Bears running back David Montgomery.
Yep.
And he blew up ever since going to the Lions.
And I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs they have 2 RB1s. That it's just like I don't see a world where we stop the run, and I think especially when you can run the ball like that, like the play action just works so well, and our defense is good. But I mean, are we going to be able to compete with a team that can throw and run the ball as good as the Lions do? So I just don't see.
Hopefully, it's another week where you vote against the Vikings.
Hey, if we win, I won't be mad about the pick getting wrong. So
Titans Bills, easily choice. We're not going with the meme god here. We're not going with the clip farming mother.
Tear the ACL of the ball boy. Yeah, I have the Bills winning by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Perfect.
We don't got to go much into
We don't
that.
got Dolphins, Colts. This one's gonna be interesting.
I have the Colts winning pretty prominently. Tyler Huntley is so bad. Like,
I wanted to pick the Dolphins, but this was more of a safe pick where like I wanted to pick the Dolphins, but I was like, I know Maddox ain't picking the Dolphins. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
I don't think it matters if Anthony Richardson's playing or Joe Flacco's playing. Fucking put anybody in there, they're gonna beat this Dolphins team because Tyler Huntley doesn't know how to run an offense, and of all the quarterbacks that you could assign Dolphins, you decide to go for Tyler Huntley when Ryan Tannehill's sitting on his couch at home and could probably run an NFL offense 10 times better than him. If they have Ryan Tannehill, I'd probably pick the Dolphins to win this game, but y'all are stupid and go for Tyler Huntley, so I'm picking the Colts because y'all suck ass.
All right, perfect. Seahawks, Falcons. Who do you got?
I got the Seahawks winning. I think this is going to be a pretty good game, a pretty high-scoring game. I have the Seahawks winning 34-27. I think they barely squeak it out. I just see them being able to run the ball better. The Falcons' run defense isn't too crazy. And don't get me wrong, Bijan's a dog. I just think the Seahawks will be able to shut it down better. I think the Seahawks are just a little better in almost every category, probably other than quarterback and maybe, safety. But I don't think safety is one of the most important positions in the league. I think the Seahawks take this one.
I think, what's crazy? Julian Love, the safety for the Seahawks, is the #1 fantasy scoring safety in the NFL.
I don't give a fuck. Fantasy does not matter. Like,
no, I'm not saying for argument wise.
You're just saying it's just crazy.
How crazy is that?
That is
You would have guessed.
I would not have guessed ever.
Thank God. I only did this because we're playing the Ravens this week, and I need a Falcons loss. I got the Seahawks. That's my only debate. Please, Falcons lose. Please lose, because we play a really hard team. And if we lose, we stay even. The Saints, all three of us are even, worst case scenario. That's all I got to say. Next game, Texans, Packers. I guarantee we have the same.
I have the Texans winning, but I only have them winning by 1 point. I think this is going to be a very close game. I think the Texans defense is just barely going to be able to shut down Jordan Love enough to squeak out the win. But I think it could genuinely go either way. I will not be surprised at all if I get this game wrong. I didn't know who to pick for this game, so I just picked the Texans and picked them by 1 point because they have slightly more weapons than the Packers do.
I got the Texans too. I've been low on the Packers, and this is like the first week where I'm not low on the Packers. And I was low on the Texans, but the Texans look so damn good, dude. And with Joe Mixon back,
honestly, this is kind of similar to you. I also kind of picked the Texans because I could use some losses going around in the North right now with how competitive it is, so I'll be rooting for the Texans pretty heavily.
I love it. I love the biasy. Bengals, Browns. The Browns. We both got the Bengals. Let's move on.
I have the Browns.
Actually?
I do have the Browns.
Wow. You think the Browns are due for a win?
The Browns own the Bengals since Joe Burrow
Very
has been
true.
there.
Very true.
Nick Chubb could potentially be back. Even if he's not, I don't think it matters much. The Browns are kind of due for a win, and honestly, the Browns haven't been able to move the ball, but the Bengals' defense is so bad, I think they'll be able to. And I think Joe Burrow is going to move the ball, but if you pay attention, Joe Burrow doesn't make many mistakes, but when he does, it comes when it matters, and it's in the fourth quarter. And I think it's going to be a close divisional game here against the Browns. I think he's going to make a late mistake that's going to cost them the game, and the Browns win.
I was going to say the only argument, but I guess what you're saying isn't a good argument. Well, I'm saying Joe Burrow makes mistakes, but he threw a pick to Marlon Humphrey. And I think Denzel Ward's good, but I think Marlon Humphrey might be better.
But Myles Garrett's been back, and he's going to have Myles Garrett in his face all day.
True. Or, Orlando Brown went to OU. See if he can lock him down. That's going to be fun. Hopefully.
I think the Browns are going to take it.
Do you think Deshaun Watson plays good, or do you think the defense wins it?
I think Deshaun Watson plays better than he's been playing, but I don't think he plays good.
Is Deshaun Watson playing like the worst quarterback in the NFL?
No, I had him second to last because Tyler Huntley's technically a starting
there
quarterback.
We go.
But if Tyler Huntley's not a starter, yeah, he's the worst.
Dude, Deshaun Watson sucks, dude. I will never pick the Browns. I don't care if I'm wrong every week. Last noon game of the week, we got Eagles-Giants. I'm going to go first. I got the Giants. Only because, dude, the Eagles barely beat the Browns. I think the Giants are competent in every game they play in. I think they're this close to winning every game, which is crazy. And you could even agree, like, they haven't really gotten blown out much.
Yeah.
I think Brian Daboll, who you're a little lower on, I think he's a great coach. I think Daniel Jones is a very mid quarterback, but I think he can win you some games. Or not necessarily win some games. I don't think he's going to win a game. I don't think he's going to lose a game. But if he plays good, they're going to win. I think the Eagles are on a rocky start. Who do you got?
Surprisingly enough, I also have the Giants. And as you were talking, I started thinking about something, and it almost made me switch my pick and say the Eagles. Okay, I'm just going to stick and pick. Now that I'm like thinking about it, though, with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith being back,
you're right.
the Giants don't have the secondary to stop that. And I
Very
kind
true.
of do think the Eagles are going to win. But, I mean, Okay, it's too late now.
Deion Burks.
We have the
is
same-
gonna stop him. Deion Burks.
Deontay
Who's number-
Banks.
Deontay Banks. Yes.
I mean, we both have the same pick anyway, so it really doesn't change anything. But with all the weapons the Eagles have on offense, I don't think the Giants have the firepower to stop it, and I don't think they have the offensive weapons to keep up on the other side of the ball. But
Which
we
is
have the same
crazy.
pick, so I'm just gonna.
Do
stick
the
a pick.
Eagles go last in the division this year?
No, if Giants definitely.
Giants
go
go
last.
last, but do
The Eagles are playing bad. But
are the Eagles third to last? Do the Commanders beat them overall? There's
It'll
just no
probably be pretty
way.
celse. It'll probably be close.
There's just no way.
Eagles
you know?
probably find some bullshit way to get the second spot. They just find ways to win in the regular season.
Rams. Who do you got?
I have the Rams 24-20. I think it's going to be a close, kind of boring game until Stafford gets. Apparently, Cooper Kupp could potentially be playing. If he is playing, this is a very easy pick. But there is a world out there where I think the Rams do take this, or where the Raiders do take this game. But I'm just going to go with the safe pick and take Matthew Stafford.
Man, the Raiders have looked abysmal. Like straight
They need a
up.
quarterback.
They need a quarterback bad, dude. Hey, I think ever since Ada O'Connell changed his number from 4 to 12, his aura dropped down. Like,
Yeah.
dude, 12 looks so bad on him.
I know, and he thought he was Derek Carr when he was running number 4. Just stick with it, bro.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, I think the Rams win
We
this
go here,
one.
Rams. Panthers, Commanders. I know you got the Commanders.
I have the
Let's move on.
Commanders dropping 40 on the Panthers' head.
If any game is a random win, I think this is like the.
Nah, I think
Only
There's probably a
because the
couple other
Commanders'
games.
defense is kind of mid.
Commanders' defense is
All
mid.
it takes is Jaden Daniels. If Jaden Daniels throws 2 picks this game, I
But
think the
he
Panthers
didn't
win.
throw 2 picks against the Ravens. Why would he do it against the Panthers?
No, I agree. But all
I
it
have the
takes-
final. No, I agree. But I have the final score 41-27. I think this won't be a game at all. I think the Commanders are going to destroy them. It's going to be similar to when they play the Cardinals, but probably worse.
You know what's crazy? 325. We got Chiefs 49ers. I think we got the same pick.
I have the 49ers 27-23. Chiefs have barely been squeaking out wins consistently. They are coming off a bye. I think the Niners. I normally don't like using this logic, but I do think they come in a little pissed off after last year losing in the Super Bowl. And I just think historically over the last couple seasons,
Yeah.
the Niners have been a better regular season team than the Chiefs. Mahomes hasn't been playing crazy this year. I just don't. I don't.
There's no way the Chiefs go 6-0, right?
No, I think there is a way the Chiefs go 6-0. There's no way that
The magic potion wears off.
There's just no way that Patrick Mahomes can get away with making the mistakes he's been making against a team as good as the 49ers.
Very, very true. I got the 49ers as well. I had a feeling we both picked the 49ers. And I think it's the exact same thing you said. Like, the 49ers, this is a revenge game, which if they play again in the Super... Here's the thing. This game, I'm going to pick the 49ers. If they play in the Super Bowl, no way I'm picking the 49ers.
If the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, I'm picking them. Like,
Exactly.
it's just that simple.
Perfect. Sunday Night Football, we got Jets, Steelers. Who do you got?
I actually have the Steelers.
Oh, wow.
After the game tonight, I don't really know how I feel about that. The Jets looked very good against the Bills. But I just honestly like the Steelers. Fields looked good. It was against the Raiders, but, I mean, he still looked good. I think...
Hey, let's give an opening kickoff. Clap to Justin Fields. Wait. Every year we're going to give a Baker Mayfield award. So far, it's Justin Fields award.
No. It's Sam Darnold's right now.
True.
Sam Darnold wins the Baker Mayfield Award. However, I love Justin Fields. I think Chicago...
Go to a new team and dominate. Get a new contract.
Yeah, I think Chicago did him dirty. Honestly, looking at this pick now, I think there is a very good chance the Jets win, but I'm going to stick and pick with the Steelers. I think they're going to squeak it out 20-14. I think... I was about to say up. I
say it.
think TJ Watt's going to injure the out of Aaron Rodgers, and we're going to have to watch some pitiful quarterback play, and it's going to be the same shit.
Knock on wood twice, just in case.
I wasn't going to say it. You made me say it.
I know, but
But
just in case.
I think the Steelers just find some bullshit way to barely
We
squeak
don't
this
want to
out.
wish injury upon anyone.
I wasn't wishing it.
I know
but
you weren't wishing it, but...
yeah, I think the Jets or the Steelers barely
Ravens,
squeak it out.
Buccaneers, explain why you got the Ravens.
Wait, you didn't say your game pick for that game? Jets.
I
Steelers.
got the Jets, which is... Sorry, you're completely right. I think the Jets are just more competent as a team. I
Okay.
think they're higher overall. That's my only argument.
Okay. Ravens.
It's
at-
gonna be a great game. Honestly, that's a shitty Sunday night game. That's gonna be a fun game to watch.
I don't think it'll be a fun. It'll be a good game.
It'll be a
It'll be
boring
a,
ass
no.
game
It'll be a good game, but not a fun game.
for Anahe, for any lady. It'll be a
Honestly, for
boring
me,
game.
when it's prime time, I don't want to watch some fucking defensive battle.
I know.
I'm being
Let's
honest.
get Bucks, Falcons.
Bucks Ravens even like that's
Yeah.
gonna be a high scoring game.
It's gonna be a fun
However, Ravens take it by 2 possessions.
2 possessions.
Yeah, I have the final score 30-20 in the favor of the Ravens. Bucks defense sucks. Derrick Henry is going to feast.
I don't think so. I think
Zay
they-
Flowers was
I
feasting
don't think
last
so.
week. He's gonna feast again.
No,
Mark Andrews is feasting last week. The Bucks can't guard the middle of the field. He's gonna feast again.
I don't think they beat us running. they're gonna beat us. If they beat us, they beat us thoroughly.
And I know you're gonna defend Baker and say they weren't his fault, but that doesn't mean like they didn't still happen. I'm not saying it's Baker's fault, but as the Bucks team as a whole, it still happened and it's their fault.
Yeah.
If he can turn the ball over,
if
he can turn the ball over 3 times against the Saints defense, he can turn it over 3 times against the Ravens defense.
Fair.
I think the Ravens are gonna take this one pretty easily.
I don't think they take it easily. I got my Buccaneers, baby. Honestly, leave this in. Ravens versus Bucks. Now I'm gonna pick a winner. Do I gotta go there? Fuck the Ravens.
I was expecting you to say something racist or something. Last game of the week, Chargers at Cardinals. I think we've all learned our lesson about the Cardinals. I think the Chargers take the cake here. They played a pretty good defense last week against Denver, and they won pretty prominently. They're playing a pretty shitty defense this week, and I think they're going to once again win pretty prominently, 24-14. You have the same pick?
Give me the Cardinals!
Do you not learn?
I'm not giving up!
How do you not learn? You don't learn.
This might be my third.
You haven't learned about the Jags. You haven't learned about the Panthers.
You want to hear? Hold on. This argument will actually make more sense.
The magic potion.
No. It's boring-ass team versus potentially explosive-ass team, right? So I think, odds or not, the Chargers have every right to win this game. If the Cardinals hit 2 explosive, if Kyler has 2 Kyler plays, I think the Chargers win it. If Kyler, you know what I'm saying, rolls out, runs one in,
okay, but the key word in what you said is potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Chargers are a boring team.
I ain't watching this game.
Think about.
I'm not watching this game straight up.
Oh, I'm watching this game.
Well, I'm watching the Bucks.
It's on a different.
What are we
night.
doing for next week?
Oh, there's 2 Monday night games, huh?
Because we have to come over here. I'm sorry, I'm not watching. I can't.
Well, I mean, I can come over
You
here.
put on your phone.
Watch it on my phone.
Okay.
Anyways, the Chargers, I'm not disagreeing.
Just so you know, if it's going bad, you might have to leave for a few minutes.
Where am I going to go? In my car? I'll just go in my car. Okay, anyways, the Chargers, they're boring to watch, but they run the damn ball, and they do it pretty efficiently. And the Cardinals...
I'm not shitting on them, but I'm saying...
No, I get what you're saying.
A few explosive
it's kind of like an upside pick, which I get. It's just that they're not going to be able to stop the run at all. Like, the Chargers are going to dominate time of possession. Kyler's probably going to have a turnover, and the Chargers are going to, very easily win this game.
Here's the thing. This week picks is interesting. Vikings-Lions can go either way easily.
Oh, yeah.
Bengals-Browns is a sleeper pick for you.
I think the Browns take that one.
But I'm saying it's still a sleeper pick,
I know,
right?
But, it is a sleeper
Jets
pick.
Steelers is a sleeper pick for you.
I think that one, a lot of these games could go either way.
Ravens-Buccaneers.
What
we don't got
sucks
to talk
is
about it.
a lot of these games could go either way. The 2 games I feel the most confident in are, unfortunately, the first one is Commanders-Panthers. I think the Commanders don't make it a game.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the other one I feel the most confident about is Bucks-Ravens. I think
Go
the Ravens.
off.
I think the Ravens are going to win.
Shut the All right, let's get into the opening kickoff power rankings, and let's finish off on top 10 quarterbacks.
All right, let's do it.
All right, I got it written down. So we didn't do it last week, guys. Nobody watched the video, so I guess if you upload a 23-minute video, no one wants to click on it, you know?
It was shit anyways. I'm glad they didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was dude, when I woke up at 6 a.m. and half the audio was cut out, I was like...
It was honestly not even just the audio thing. What we recorded with Matt went so well, and it was so entertaining, and it just none of it was there.
We're sorry, Matt. We got a new hard drive.
I think next week, or technically it would be 2 weeks from now, Thursday Night Football, I think the Vikings play, so that'd be a good episode to have them on for.
Perfect.
He wears Vikings.
So we're sorry, guys. That shit sucks, but there was literally... I even said on camera, I was like, the only thing we could do is me call Maddox and make him come record at 7 a.m. We edit it, and there's still probably a chance it doesn't go up. You got to do what you got to do. Hey, I dropped 130 on a new hard drive. Shout out.
Yep.
Do your homework. All right. At number 32.
Combined power rankings, if you didn't pay attention last time.
This is
the average of our 2 power rankings, pretty much.
You got the Browns. You were a little higher on the Browns. I'm a little lower on the Browns, but the Browns.
I'm not even a little higher. I wanted them at 31, so I'm fine with them being at 32.
Right.
So
31, we got the Patriots. This was the only argument.
Yeah.
They're so incompetent. They're the lowest overall team, easily.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. They're so bad.
Number 30, we got the Titans. For the second lowest overall. The Browns have a higher overall team, getting a new quarterback. Titans suck.
Titans suck. The thing is, though, I
think the Browns probably beat the Titans.
The Titans have some weapons. The last couple weeks, Tony Pollard has kind of been impressing me, and I've always not really been a fan of Tony Pollard. Not even because he was on the Cowboys. He just was shit when he was on the Cowboys. But I I don't like their receiver group, but I like their defense. I think if they get a quarterback and like a younger receiver that can really do something, I think they have like a bright future. But this year, they are ass.
If the Browns play the Titans, who wins?
Probably the Browns.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, but here's the thing. I think it's a very close game. I think if they play 10 times, they probably split.
Yeah, very, very true. 29, we got the Panthers, which is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're not last.
They're going to be in a lot of games with Andy Dalton.
That's what I'm trying to tell you because Bryce Young was the problem. You kind of just shot yourself in the foot.
28 there. Raiders, that might be too high. Did you have the Raiders kind of high and I had them lower?
I think we had them pretty similarly. You might have had them below the Panthers.
The Raiders are going to be way lower.
I think they should be above the Panthers.
I think they should be above the Panthers.
They're a more competent team than the Panthers, and they'll probably finish like maybe one spot lower just because maybe one of those teams will finish higher.
Yeah.
But the Ravens, the Raiders are a team, when they get a quarterback, I think they'll be pretty good.
Bust down my AP. Perfect time, and that's what I'm talking about.
Hell
Number 27, we got the Dolphins. Tua comes back. They're going to finish top 20.
Tua comes back, they probably finish 22.
Really? You don't think they even cracked the top 20?
Tua's ass. That's all I got to say. The people have the Dolphins figured out.
26, Jags.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like,
they're going to be in any game they play.
No, here's my thing. The Jags are not the 6th worst team in the NFL. Like, they're not. But they're playing like they are. You know what I mean? Like, because this is based off of this season, and you got to factor in their record. Like, and they're above teams with better records than them, I think.
They're one loss.
Like,
the only other what are the other one-loss teams? The Browns and the Patriots?
And the Panthers. One win.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, they're just playing bad. Like, it's just that simple. The play calling sucks. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, I'm kind of a fan, but when you're a number 1 overall pick, you're supposed to be a difference maker. And then the season after they drafted him, they had the number 1 overall pick, and Trayvon Walker wasn't even the correct pick, which, don't get me wrong, he's been decent, but he wasn't the correct pick. And then you had one decent year, made the playoffs, squeaked out a win in the playoff game, and then you haven't done shit since. So, I don't know. I think the head coach is the problem. Until Doug Peterson's out of there, I don't think they're going to be able to compete.
That sucks because I don't want to blame the problem on Doug Peterson. It's hard to blame.
Well, who is it on, Doug Peterson or Trevor Lawrence? Also, their defense sucks. Let's not forget about that.
Wait, hold on. That is like the most unfair sentence to ever say.
I don't think it's unfair.
It's either the quarterback or the head coach. Like, come on.
More often than not. How many other teams do the quarterback get blamed? Literally every single time. And if it's not the quarterback, who is it? It's the head coach.
But that's just not fair. Like, that's what the average media says.
And if a team's not good, what do? They either move on from their quarterback or they get a new head coach. Everything else normally stays the same. Yeah, am I right or am I wrong?
Maybe I'm just biased and I'm higher on.
I think it's Doug Peterson. But the only reason I say is it Trevor Lawrence or is it Doug Peterson is because
Trevor Lawrence got paid $55 million.
Not only that, this isn't some guy that you signed out of free agency. You drafted him number 1 overall and then paid him that much. He's supposed to be the difference maker, and he's not. So it's either the play calling. Don't get me wrong, his defense sucks.
Last week,
but you can't use the defense as an excuse when you're not putting up points.
And it's like, dude, he just
did you watch the London game?
I watched highlights of it.
Okay, so you weren't like watching the actual game live. They were talking about the Jags have the most 10+ play drives in the league, and none of them are finishing with touchdowns.
Really?
They're spending this much time on the field and not even getting touchdowns. It's a coaching problem. That's what I'm trying to say. Get Doug Peterson out of Jacksonville, please.
All right.
And if then that doesn't work, then it's Trevor Lawrence. Now go ahead.
25, we got the Giants. I could see him finishing way lower. I could see him finishing way higher. I could see him finishing even.
I bet they finish about 20. That'd be my guess. Here's my
Malik Neighbors is a ball.
Malik Neighbor is a dog.
Do you think they move on from Daniel Jones?
That's what I was just about to start talking about. I think Daniel Jones has been, I don't know if impressive is the correct word to use, but I think he's been better than people's expectations going into this season. But when your expectations are to be dog shit, then when you play mid, you're beating expectations. I think just this consistent mediocrity, you may as well move on. You know what you're going to get out of him.
Do you think it's like a where they land their pick type deal?
Yeah, but I think they land their pick pretty high, which is just
so if they don't finish top 10, they probably don't draft a quarterback.
If they don't have a top 10 overall, no, I think they trade up anyways. I think, or I'm not gonna say
they
I
didn't
think.
Last year.
I'm not gonna say I think, but also you didn't get to watch Daniel Jones last year because he was injured. You don't.
True.
Really, but I think we've reached
I think
the point.
that contract, that's a lot of dead salary cap. But
they don't have to cut him. They don't have to cut him. Just keep him on the bench.
It's still dead salary cap is if you cut him, it's the same amount of dead salary cap technically as a bench player.
I guess
you're paying a guy who's not playing.
I mean, I guess that's true, but you're going to be paying him anyways. But that's beside the point. It's more just when you're consistently this mediocre, you know what you're going to get out of Daniel Jones at this point. Why not take a shot on somebody that you don't know what they're going to do in the NFL?
Here's a good question, and then we'll move on to the next pick. Do you think Daniel Jones could have a Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields type career renaissance and on a different team with more talent? Like, let's say he goes be a backup on a healthy Rams team.
I think
and then you put him in after Stafford.
Possibly because through Daniel Jones' career, he hasn't had many weapons outside of Saquon Barkley, who is a
Darius Slayton's been his number one receiver for
That's what I'm
years.
saying. And you gave him Malik Neighbors, and when Malik Neighbors has been in, the offense has looked pretty decent. I think Daniel Jones has potential, but I don't think he could ever have a Sam Darnold type of thing where he's going to come out on a new team and go 5-0, but I think he's capable of getting 7 to 8 wins for a team in the NFL. I just don't think he's a playoff caliber quarterback, and he has a playoff win, so technically he is, but not anymore. You know, he had his one season, and I think we're past that.
Hey, I just got some crown on my jersey.
We're almost done.
I just bitchin' new jersey, and I hit the beat, and then I started twerking.
All right, at number 24, we got the Rams. They're going to finish up a lot higher. That's really all I got to say about it.
My worry is that they're not going to win enough games until they get their weapons back to get a wild card spot. That's my worry.
But they're still going to finish higher than 24.
Oh, 100%. But I'm just talking about like the NFL as a whole. I don't think they make the playoffs
Do
this year,
you
which
think
sucks.
that 2020 Super Bowl run killed them long term?
What? I don't think I understand what you're saying.
Like, killed them. They traded all those picks, got all the cap space where they're a little broke right now. Do you think that killed them?
Not necessarily, because they still have weapons. They're great at drafting. They're just injured.
So I agree. I think their draft the past 2 years made up for that.
100%. When you're able to draft like that, you're able to trade the capital and get
Are
players.
they even able to draft like that, or is it the coaching is what's crazy? Or both?
Both. That's what I was just about to say.
I got there. Do your homework. At number 23, you got the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts.
They might
honestly.
finish lower, dude.
I thought the Colts were going to be good as shit this year. They kind of suck.
AR?
They don't suck. Their defense sucks, and AR hasn't been good. Like,
I think once AR goes back in there over Flacco, it might get uglier.
yeah,
Bless you.
100%.
All right, at number 22, we got the Saints. Dude, when we did these power rankings earlier, what do we have? We hit the Saints high, dude. They look so...
We had them.
They've lost
we had
4
them
in a
top
row.
5 week
Hold
2.
on. It's so funny. I was doing that during the Bucks game because I was doing this. Yeah, that's just my thing when I get hype watching the game. And he's like, "Don't do that. We lost." Like talking about OU. I was like, "No, it's still
That's
good
so
luck."
funny.
But yeah,
The Saints, they just kind of fell apart. I kind of like that Rattler's in there. On my personal YouTube channel, when I made my NFL predictions in the video, I said my hot take was that Rattler finishes as a starter. So it'd be pretty cool that if he had a couple good games and he could be the starter for the rest of the year, so I could say I predicted it. But
he just won't be because of the salary they paid Derek Carr.
I don't think it matters. I think if Rattler goes out
think
there,
it
and,
does
if
matter.
Rattler goes out there and plays better than Carr, they don't give a fuck about the salary.
I think it does matter only like the Deshaun Watson situation. It shows like
No, I think if Deshaun Watson gets blown out the next 2 games, they're going to cut him. I don't think
they even cut him.
I think after Russ, I think teams realize, hey, maybe we just take the hit.
Is that the team or is that Sean Payton?
Sean Payton's been looking pretty. They've looked decent this year.
Here's the thing, because we both aren't the biggest Sean Payton meat suckers. That is probably the most ballsy motherfucker ever who doesn't give a shit. You know?
Until Dan Campbell.
Yeah, Dan Campbell definitely.
But before that, it was Sean Payton.
Yeah, it was definitely. What other coach is doing an onside kick at halftime besides Dan Campbell and Sean Payton?
There's none. There literally
none.
isn't one.
There's literally none. Number 20, we got the Cardinals. Give them some weapons. I could see Kyler winning it 6 more games this year. I could see him winning 2 more games this year.
I think next season, going into free agency, pick up an edge rusher, trade for an edge rusher, or pick up a corner, trade for a corner. Draft a couple more weapons, and I think they'll be fine. I just think this season they don't have the firepower to compete with teams because
I think
they're
in the 2 to 3 year Super Bowl
and the
window.
play calling's bad. The play calling sucks. Like
You hate Rich
on
Gannon.
both sides of the ball, the play calling is bad.
It's Rich Gannon's first year. Give him 1 more year. We'll reevaluate after that.
Wasn't he the coach last year?
Nah, it's his first year.
Who was their coach last year?
I don't know. But you don't remember Rich Gannon, where when he came in, he was talking to camera. He's like, you
I
remember
thought that was
video?
last year though.
No, but that was like him coming in, like
Yeah, but
off season.
who got fired then last year? Somebody had to get fired if he's the head coach.
Was
this
it
year.
Cliff Kingsbury?
No, that was 2 years ago. That might have been
The year
3 years
before.
ago.
No, it was the year before Cliff Kingsbury got fired for sure. First
Regardless,
year.
the play calling on both sides of the ball is
Abysmal.
atrocious.
Yeah.
The offensive play calling too. It's just like When Marvin Harrison's not getting involved in the game and you're not trying your best to get him
Can we
involved,
agree on this? Do these studly offensive coordinators and these studly defensive coordinators, all it takes is two guys who doesn't give a fuck to combine together? I know we're an NFL podcast, but this is the best example. If I'm Lincoln Riley, I'm thinking in my office, I'm like, Brent Venables is doing this to OU's defense. Imagine if we worked together.
it's kind of like Kevin O'Connell and
Yeah, literally.
Brian Flores.
It's like, and I said this, Kevin O'Connell, if he was a great coach, I would come to Brian Flores and be like, hey, I know you're going to get NFL offers. I won't even be the head coach anymore. Let's be co-head coaches.
Yeah, but there's not a world where that ever happens.
I know, obviously, just because guys are dicks. Why not just have co-head coaches? One runs the defense, one runs
I also
the
just
offense?
is it even allowed to have two head coaches?
Who cares?
I guess that's a fair point, but
Or I'll tell him, I'll be like, I would tell Brian Flores, I'll give you all the pay you want. And we'll tell, you can do, like.
okay, but
run
you gotta think this is a business. They're not just doing this to win; they're doing it for their money too.
Yeah, true.
He's not gonna offer him a bunch of money to.
But how do you let Brian Flores walk away as Kevin O'Connell?
It's not his decision though. If he gets offered somebody else, what is he gonna do? Suck his dick to get him to stay? Like,
If you're Kevin O'Connell, do you not give up? Let's say you have $5 million a year. Do you give up $1 million a year to keep Brian Flores?
I mean, I
do.
would, but I'm not Kevin O'Connell. Like, he might care more about the money than he does keeping
True,
Brian
but we've
Flores
never
around.
seen $1 million before, so how do we judge?
That's what I'm saying. I might want that
Would you
million.
get rid of me for $1 million?
No,
Well, we're brothers, so who knows?
I've said I wouldn't get rid of Solely for $1 billion. And you think I'm gonna get rid of you for $1 million?
We're brothers, so I hope to God not.
That's what I'm saying. If I wouldn't get rid of Solely, why would I get rid of you?
I hope you keep me over solely.
That's what I'm saying.
Now it'd be a question over you, honestly.
All right, f you.
I'm just kidding. At number 20, we got the Jets. They might be higher.
They might be a
tonight.
little high, even though they lost. They might go up a couple spots, but I think 20's fair.
20's fair. 19, we got the Seahawks. I think we both predicted it. They're 3-3 right now, right?
I told you their 3-0 is bullshit. I told
we
you,
both
and we agreed.
We agreed that they'd fall off after that. 18, we got the Broncos.
Yeah, last week.
Hey, we shoot on Sean Payton.
I will say last week makes it hard to put them at 18. I think after this week, maybe swap them in the Jets. Even though they beat the Jets and the Jets just lost.
I agree. Let's do it. We're swapping them.
Even though the Jets just lost and the Broncos beat the Jets, I don't think you can factor teams beating teams, meaning they're better, because literally any team can lose at any given time. Like the Bucks are better than the Broncos, but the Broncos beat them. That doesn't mean shit. Like,
Yeah.
I think even though the Jets lost, keeping up with the Bills like that is impressive, and they missed 2 field goals and only lost by 3 points. So if the 2 field goals are made, you win by 3 points. So
I was telling me and Annie were watching college football, and I was telling her like she was seeing all these missed college field goals, and she's like, "What the heck?" I'm like, "Annie, you don't understand.
in college they miss.
They
kicks.
miss so.
I mean, in the
many I was
NFL
like-
they miss kicks.
I was like, they miss kick. I told Annie, and she didn't understand until I said this. I was like, Annie, think about this. There's 32 starting NFL kickers. NFL, how many do you see miss kicks? She's like, there's a good amount of them who miss a bunch of kicks. I was like, there's 130 big-time college programs.
Yeah.
Minimum. And they all suck.
No, yeah, dude, the kicking in college is
Every
ass.
year, there's
Like,
one kicker who's going to become a starter in the NFL.
yeah,
Maybe one kicker.
yeah, no, the kicking.
It's crazy.
Kicking in college sucks.
Let's just study. Let's just kick every day and become into the.
I've said that before, but it's definitely not that easy. But like,
It's
like,
that no, it's hard. Dude.
here's my thing. Imagine so sometimes people have kids, right? And they want them to become this next guy in the NFL. They try to train him to become a quarterback.
Let's raise our kids.
Just
to
teach
become
him to be a
kickers.
kicker. And guess what? He's not going to make $100 million, but he's going to be making millions. You know, that's still in the top,
Dude,
like
and-
0.1%.
That's kinda smart. Like right when your kid becomes 3,
You start
teach him how
kicking
to
the
kick
football.
every year.
Start kicking the football.
at 10
You're going to
years-
be a millionaire, and you're going to be in the
At
top
10 years old,
0.1%.
He's kicking 20-yard field goals.
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
kinda
Hey,
genius.
if you have a kid right now, start teaching him how to be a kicker
I would
because
teach
it's
if
an
my
investment.
kid played football, because obviously my kids are gonna play football. I'm gonna coach them, of course. My kid, I'm gonna be the coach. My kid's gonna kick field goals.
Dude, you know what I was thinking about the other day? You know what would be the most badass thing is if Taysom Hill learned how to punt and
We
kick.
talked about this.
That would be the
That would be so
awesomest
funny.
thing ever. What's
That would be
next?
so funny. 17, we got the Bengals. They're gonna finish way higher. Agreed.
Dude, at this point, I don't even know. Like,
Their only play was a Joe Burrow 47-yard rushing touchdown.
no, they had
That's
another
insane.
rushing touchdown, but it was like,
It was trash
It was-
time. Number 30. Who's number 30 on their team?
if you asked me last night, I would remember, but I got a little too much in me right now. But all I'm going to say is the smarter, I think it's Chase Brown. I think the
is Chase
smarter
Brown.
move was to go down, and this guy ran into the end zone anyway. If they go down, it's a guaranteed
Did
win.
you see Kyle Shanahan was like, told the back and running back when he went down, he's like, nah, go in.
Kyle Shanahan said that?
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, he was
I
like,
think
because you're not going to get many opportunities. That's probably why that guy did that. And it's like, not theoretically. Most likely they don't win that game, but the Giants could still get a
think
touchdown, onside kick, and field goal and
if
tie
you're
it.
up by one possession already, score. I take.
Well, the thing is, if the other team has one timeout and you got the first down and there's 50 seconds left, if you go down, you automatically win the
You're
game.
right. No,
so
you're right.
go
You're
down.
right. You're right. 16, we got the Cowboys. Bouncing off my booty cheeks. I love the way she rides. How good does it feel the Cowboys are mid?
Hey, Jerry Jones, how does it feel that you paid a quarterback $240 million to throw the ball to the other team? How does it feel? How does it feel that you could have had Derrick Henry, but you didn't even shoot him an offer? Who did you get? Oh, yeah, Zeke, the guy that you let go for a year.
Henry, that was his team he would really want to go to.
They didn't even offer him anything. Like, you didn't even think about getting a running back. I know it's not the most valuable position in the NFL anymore, but it still would have helped out your team. You can't run the ball. Dak's not even a top 10 quarterback in the league, and he's the highest paid quarterback. He's the highest paid player of all time. No, he's not a top 10 quarterback.
No, he's not a top 10 quarterback. Okay. I do like Dak.
Dak, I don't. Not Dak. I like him as a person, and I think he's a good regular season quarterback. When you don't have success in the playoffs after this many years, you can't pay him that much.
I agree. He's up there on guys who would do anything to win a game.
Yeah, but dude,
hold on. You know what I mean on Baker Mayfield? Dude, that 3rd and 10, and Baker Mayfield is jumping into Chase Young, diving for a first down.
Yeah.
And I remember I told Annie, I was like, he's got to learn to not do that shit. And Annie, he's like, that's Baker Mayfield. He got to do it to be him. I was like, I know. And I love that he does that. But if Baker Mayfield goes out for the rest of this game, we are going to lose.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think Dak has that kind of heart like Baker does. No, I'm not saying like Baker. I'm not just comparing to Baker. I don't think he's one of these guys that wants to win a game. I don't know if you watched his press conference after the game. He was like, yeah, I'm not one to panic. And it's like, you're not going to panic and be really pissed off. Like, he wasn't even mad.
Is it the guaranteed money that's fucking these guys over?
He wasn't even mad in his interview, and they just got He didn't score a single touchdown. And he's sitting there all calm. No, he's calm as
like the Deshaun Watson kind of vibe?
It was a little better than that, but it may as well have been.
Deshaun Watson he's like, man, I'm not running quarterback draws.
No,
like, dude,
Dak's in his head. He's like, oh, I got $240 million. Who gives a if we lose by 30? Like, bro, I don't know. If you're not pissed the off and like mad that the interviewers are asking you questions, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. And at the end of the day, Dak gets a little bit overhated. And the NFL is weird. It's not about how good you are. It's more of a matter of when you get paid.
Yeah.
But no matter what, Dak was not worth the money you paid him. After the last big contract you gave him, you should have learned that. And you should have waited at least till the end of the season to re-sign him while you had another year on his deal. Because now he's stuck in this contract after y'all may not even make the playoffs, which I'm sure y'all will because the Cowboys always find a way in. But with how y'all started, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make it and y'all paid him too early.
What I want to ask you is, because we were talking about the Baker Mayfield thing, so it's two different questions. Do you think it's a smarter play for Baker Mayfield just to run out of bounds and not get that first down? What do you kind of think about that situation? Like, you're the franchise quarterback. We need you to get to the playoffs. No, one play. I think you die for that first down and risk getting hurt. What do you think?
I respect when quarterbacks go for the first down. But
I respect it too, but
I'm also on the side. Like, I'm such on the side of like being safe that when Aiden Hutchinson got injured, even though it's only the third quarter, I'm sitting there telling Zach, I'm like, dude, they're up by like almost 30 points. It's almost to the point where like maybe wait till they catch up a little bit to keep your best players in the game. You know, It's like last year against the Ravens, the Dolphins are getting blown out, and it's the fourth quarter. Like, there's genuinely no statistical way you win this game, and you have your starters in the game, and Bradley Chubb goes out with a season-ending injury, and now you have to go to the playoffs without one of your better edge rushers. I'm on the side of if you can't win the game, or you can't lose the game, or there's a pretty good chance, especially in the third quarter, like when Aiden Hutchinson got hurt. I'm not going to completely blame it on Dan Campbell. It's early to take him out. But when you're winning by that much, maybe like let them sit out a drive. You know, maybe at least see if they score and then throw them in on the next drive. I don't know. It's a weird thought process, but
I agree.
Especially when it's like you won or lost the game. Like, that's a different scenario. If you've won or lost the game, get your starters off the field, because why risk an injury this early into the season whenever, you know, we still have 10 weeks left and then the playoffs.
Long story short, if you didn't get invited,
don't ask to
go. Do I got to go there? Do your homework. And then the other question I was going to ask you, can you name 3 NFL players who want to win an NFL game more than Baker Mayfield? That's hard.
I think you could probably say Josh Allen. Josh Allen puts his body on the line.
I think they're tied. They both will die on the football field.
Josh Allen. I'm gonna go. Let me think. They're mine.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Baker Mayfield's up there, dude.
Pacheco maybe.
Yeah,
Pacheco.
yeah.
Pacheco's angry. And
like,
I'm just saying, if I had to pick somebody.
It's hard to compare a running back. But
Yeah. Oh, Amon-Ra.
oh, yeah.
Those are the only three, like, I'd say they're all pretty close. I mean, we don't know any of them personally.
We'll keep going to our picks. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Dude, he has some dog.
No, what I want to say is, you're not getting the ball as much. Your team's winning. I don't hear you bitching. You're doing these laterals to your other teammates to set up plays. You're not bitching. Shout out Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love that in NFL player.
I agree.
He got his big contract. Who cares? Keep winning.
Yep.
Number 15, we got the Eagles. The Cowboys, Eagles were kind of switch spots.
Yeah, you could put them either way.
If they played each other, we both got the Eagles winning.
Yeah, the Eagles, though, like, it's a good team. Honestly, get Nick Sirianni out of there, in my opinion. I don't like the play calling on the offensive side of the ball. You have been missing two of your best weapons. However, you got them back and barely beat a team that we have ranked last. So it's just like, I don't know. I think A.J. Brown is probably a top 5 receiver in the league. I'm a big fan of A.J. Brown. But Nick Sirianni is a bad head coach, and I think they should probably fire him as soon as they possibly can, if I'm being honest, because I don't think Jalen Hurts is terrible. He does have a turnover problem, but you made it work for 1 year, but just because you make the Super Bowl 1 year, honestly, does not mean you're a good head coach.
Nick Sirianni might be the most overrated coach in the NFL.
I don't think he's overrated because people have realized that he's the problem, in my opinion. I think Mike McDaniels and Brian Daboll are probably the two.
Number 14, we got the Bears. What the The Bears, top half of the NFL? Caleb Williams is cooking. You're getting Keenan on the ball, and you got this stud-ass defense? What?
Yeah, I still think they're not going to see – this is another, like, pretty much the same shit I was just saying. They're not going to see, like, real success until they get a different head coach. Matt Eberflus is just not the guy, honestly. You look good against the Jags. Jags defense sucks. When y'all play good teams, you don't look as good. I think hopefully next year they get a new head coach, but I think they could – like, make the playoffs with Eberflus. At this rate,
they keep their head coach, you know?
Yeah, you can make the playoffs with Eberflus easily, but you're never going to win a Super Bowl with them. That's just my opinion. Defense for the Bears, though, I respect it. It looks good.
Number 13, we got the Packers. They're climbing. Jordan Love's cooking. The offense, Romeo Doubs down there somewhere. Christian Watson down there somewhere. Let's show this bitch up. All we got to say, dude, the Packers look great.
And Romeo Doubs missed like 1 or 2 weeks because he was skipping practice and shit because he was... Yeah, he missed a couple weeks. He got suspended. Got suspended. He got suspended by the owner because he was skipping meetings and practice because he was complaining about not getting the ball enough, and then came back. Did he get 2 touchdowns last game? Like,
what's crazy is he only have 5 targets.
Yeah, I think it took Jordan Love like a second to get into the swing of things, especially because he missed a couple weeks, so he didn't really get those weeks that the other quarterbacks got. And I think now that he is, the Packers are.
I don't even think it's that injury is getting in your head, dude.
No, I don't even think it's just getting his head. It's the beginning of the season. Everyone's a little rusty.
But you have to think, dude. Like you hurt your knee really bad. It gets in your head.
Yeah, but what most quarterbacks have said, and I've heard Rodgers say it, it's after an injury, you just need that first hit, and you're kind of over it. I think he had his first hit. I think he just needed to, pick up.
Which, guys, if you're an NFL receiver, stop bitching, dude. Jamar Chase.
Dude, Jamar Chase, he pisses me off.
Stop bitching.
Most of the receivers.
You're one of the best receivers, year in, year out. You're always top 10 no matter what. Who cares? Who cares about being number 1? You're top 10 no matter what. You're on a Super Bowl contender team if your quarterback's healthy every year. Quit bitching. You're going to get paid $30 million a year, guaranteed, no matter what. If you told the Bengals coach the $40 million something, give me $25 million guaranteed for 3 years, they sign it right away.
Here's my thing. I'm not even expecting him to say the money and give me a pay cut, or not a pay cut, but like don't make me. My thing is having to be the number 1 paid guy.
You're not the best guy.
You're not the best guy in the league, and it's just
you're not the way top 3.
The way the NFL
ran.
You're
not top 3.
He's probably top 3. If Tyreek and CD.
It's
after this year, I think he's above
it's
CD.
It's easily Jay Jettis, Tyreek, and CD.
I think he's above CD. I think he's above CD after this year. However, even if he is top 3, like. Regardless, you're clearly not the number 1 guy, and the way the NFL is ran now is, like I said earlier, it matters when you get paid. So players think that since they're getting paid later, they just deserve to be the highest paid in the league, and it's honestly just stupid. Like if you're getting offered life-changing money and you're the 2nd or 3rd highest paid, why do you care? Just take the deal and stay on the team that you love to play with. It's that easy. So
you got your quarterback for years, dude.
Exactly.
Like quit bitching, dude. Like sitting out,
At least
Same
he
thing-
didn't. At least he didn't like skip games or anything. But he
No, I
did skip.
agree.
He skipped OTAs because they weren't giving
Bullshit.
him the
Same thing with Brandon Ayuk. Bullshit.
fucking bullshit.
Bullshit. Dude, go to fucking practice. I think that makes owners and coaches respect you more. Jay Jettis got the biggest contract for non-quarterbacks.
And they were negotiating
he
contracts.
was at on the balls. He was at all this shit. He had a torn hamstring. He could have went to the team and be like, "F you, give me my contract or I'm not showing up."
Well, no,
He showed up.
last season they were trying to negotiate contract with Jay Jettas. By the way, Jamar Chase is only in his third year. He's not even in his fourth year yet. The only reason Justin Jefferson was negotiating his third year is because he's the best receiver in the league. And guess what? It didn't work out, and he didn't start crying, about all
He
this.
cried a little bit, but he still
But not-
showed up to practice.
Exactly, and not on the level of Jamar Chase, and he's better than him. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's try to get to the next team because we're kind of
12 the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons been
They
pretty
looked really
impressive.
good the last 4 weeks.
Uh,
They're
the-
on a 3-game win streak.
I like the secondary. Kirk is kind of finding his rhythm. I think Bijan still needs to find his rhythm a little bit, but I think once Bijan finds his rhythm, the Falcons are gonna be a little scary.
I still think we could take them. I think we beat them next time we play them.
Probably, I think.
we need if the Falcons win one or two of these easy games that they should win. We got them.
It's crazy how the NFC South,
It's pretty good this year.
it's never the best division, but it's always the most competitive
It
division
is.
every year. But normally it's because everybody's so dog shit. This year they're all like pretty damn good.
Yeah, the Saints are falling apart.
Saints are
which is
falling
crazy.
apart, but I mean they're still capable.
But
of winning
everybody
games.
expected
But the
Bucks and
Saints are
Falcons
still
to be
very
good.
capable of getting 8 or 9 wins and competing for the division.
I don't think so anymore. After being 2-4, we're 4-2. We're 2 games ahead right now, and they're 0-2 in
Yeah,
the
they're
division.
2-4 to finish.
No,
9-8.
they're 0-2 in the division. Like being 0-2 in the division to start your year off is just gonna.
But I'm
fuck
saying
you.
there's still a chance. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, there's
it's
still a
always a
chance.
competitive division.
Well, people don't understand. I also understand. Division games are such a big deal in the NFL.
100%.
It doesn't matter what your record is. If you sweep your division, that's 6 wins automatically. 2 wins to everybody else. You could win your division going 6. You probably won't. You could win your division going 6-11.
I mean,
If
you
you
could.
sweep-
It would never happen.
I know,
'cause
but if
it's
you
just weird though how like actual record.
doesn't matter compared to division.
Yeah, it does. If you have a higher record than your team, it doesn't. It
True.
doesn't go to.
I
It
mean,
only goes to division
If
record
the
if you're
Saints
tied.
if the Saints sweep their division, but they go 6-11, and the Bucks go 11-6, and only lose division
Bucks win
games,
the
the Bucks
division.
win the division.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
It's a little weird how it works, but
It is weird, but I like it. It makes sense. Number 11, we got the Chargers. Hey, they've been playing some, and
I respect the
we
old
talk
school.
shit about all these guys wanting this paycheck. Shout out Justin Herbert, dude.
He already got paid.
No, I know he got paid. He's not giving a how many balls he's throwing. He doesn't give a about throwing these deep balls looking good. I think he's happy with Harbaugh, and he's happy in handing this ball off and winning some fucking
Here's
games.
my thing: is I don't even think that's respect to Herbert. I think any quarterback would love to just hand the ball off every play. That's like a quarterback's dream. I think the Chargers have just looked great. Harbaugh's looked good. I respect the old school style of football. I think it's working, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep it going.
Dude, if they can get a legit running back, don't get me wrong.
I don't even think. I think they need a legit receiver.
Yeah, dude, they're so close.
Run the ball 10 plays in a row. Run a play action. Throw a bomb to Davante Adams. Touchdown.
So here's the thing. They had Anquan Bolden, the 49ers year, and Frank Gore. You get
Yeah.
them two. If they get a top 10 running back and a top 10 receiver, it's over.
Yeah, I think give them 2
And
years.
Justin Herbert's easily better than Colin Kaepernick.
Give them 2
You know,
years.
Colin Kaepernick compared the NFL draft to slavery.
Yeah, and then he cries about getting back in the NFL. Colin
Well,
Kaepernick. Give
hold
the.
Hold on. Well, let's move on. Let me say one thing. How the the NFL draft compared to slavery? There's a video, and it's like measuring.
Nah, I've
these-
seen the video measuring the
yeah.
slaves.
But it's like they're betting
No,
millions
he's-
of dollars on you. That's not what
No,
slaves are doing.
he's retarded. Colin Kaepernick. But I think give the Chargers 2 years. They're a Super Bowl contender.
Bringing into our top 10, we got the Steelers. Justin Fields looks really good. Justin Fields is like, he's going to win a lot of games running the ball.
He got 2 rushing touchdowns last week against the Raiders. He's not making mistakes. He's not really turning the ball over. Najee Harris has kind of been impressing me this year. I've always been on the hating side of Najee Harris. He's one of the most consistent running backs in the league. I'm not saying he's consistently
very
amazing, but he's
consistent.
consistently good, which is good enough. I think, dude, they traded for like Davante Adams, which apparently there was an Adam Schefter report about Davante Adams. Apparently, he's just going to stay in LA or
Yeah, I
in
saw
Las
that.
Vegas or something.
Probably
But
is.
hey,
You know what that
if-
is? Nobody.
Nobody wants
to
him.
make a big trade for
That's
him,
true.
dude.
But if he went to like the Steelers, that'd be nasty. But
I don't get do the Jets do you think the Raiders are like we want Garrett Wilson in the 4th?
no, I just think.
What do you think?
I don't know why.
What do you think the Jets are offering for Davante? Do you think they're just offering Garrett Wilson straight up?
No, they're not offering Garrett Wilson. They're offering draft picks. They're not going to trade Garrett Wilson
What
for
do you think
Davante
the Jets
Adams.
are offering?
Like
the
a
Raiders?
4th rounder. Davante Adams is not
That's
worth
not
more
worth
than
it for the Raiders.
at this point. It is. Keenan Allen went for what, a fourth rounder. The
Hold
trade
on.
value in the
I
NFL.
love Keenan Allen.
Okay, a 3rd
He's not-
rounder. Davante Adams is not worth more than a 3rd rounder. You have to factor in his age. You're not getting more than 2 or 3 years out of Davante Adams.
Hey, but here's the thing: I would happily trade Davante for a 3rd round pick every day of the week.
No, I would too, but I'm saying he's not
But
worth
if I was in a rebuild stage, I would happily trade Davante for a 3rd round.
exactly, which the Raiders need to do. He's not worth more than a 3rd rounder.
If
You
I'm
got to
the
factor in
Jets,
his
I
age.
might offer a 2nd.
I'm not giving up a 2nd. 2nd round picks are so valuable. In the
I'll
NFL.
give you a 2nd. Give me a 5th.
Oh, like a pick swap? Yeah. I mean, that's cool. I don't know. He's probably just going to stay with the Raiders till next season.
Number 9, we got the 49ers. Shout out Brock Purdy. They're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine. They're always going to be fine. They compete in the regular season.
Brock Purdy's so good.
They're
dude.
probably going to be in the NFC Championship. They're going to have Christian McCaffrey back eventually, and they're going to be unstoppable.
Dude, when they get CMC. Hold on. Can we give credit to George Kittle? He stepped up this season.
Can we give credit to Jordan Mason, maybe? The guy who was drafted last year, who
Yeah.
didn't really see the field at all, came in and is playing like a top 10
But
running
you
back
see
in the
You
league.
see Jordan Mason goes hurt and this other guy does good. Is it the system?
It probably is slightly the system, but I mean, dude, all their running backs
What
were playing
running
good.
back, besides CMC, of course, could you put into this 49er system? That would be the best running back in the league. A-Chain.
Saquon, Achan,
Yeah,
fucking
like those.
It's Derrick Henry on the Niners. I don't even want to imagine that.
That'd be insane. But number 8, we got the Buccaneers. Insane. What did you have the Buccaneers on your list, if you had a guess? Because I didn't have them that much higher than you.
Like 8, 9, or 10. I think I had
Yeah.
them one spot below you. So
Dude,
it wasn't even.
we
hey,
have looked.
when we started doing this, you were like, "It's gonna be funny because I'm always gonna have the Bucks higher than you. If you're gonna be higher." I think we had them almost at
Yeah.
the same spot.
Because I'm been kind of fair. The Broncos game, we deserve to lose. The Falcons, we
Yeah.
should have won the Falcons.
I'm gonna say.
Hold on. And you agree, 9 out of 10 times how the NFL works, we win that Falcons game.
Probably. But now that I'm thinking about it, we had the Falcons probably too low. I think that's from me. I think you had the Falcons higher than I did, and I kind of got them bumped down. Falcons, I obviously don't normally use this logic. They should still be below the Bucks, but they beat the Bucks in a very competitive game, and we had them like 5 or 6 spots below the Bucks. So I do think we deserve the Falcons a little more credit.
If
But
the Bucks beat the Ravens this week, do the Bucks
Bucks
crack
break
your
the top 5 if they beat the Ravens,
Let's go.
but they're not going to. So
Number 7, we got the Commies. Last week was a rough week. I think
no, it was not a rough week. I think it was an
they
impressive
looked
week.
good. I think they're gonna finish under top 10 here soon.
I don't think so. I think there's impressive losses. Like if you compete with the team, like
That
the
was an
Jets,
impressive
the
loss,
Jets
I
just
agree.
losing to the Bills, that was an impressive loss. The Commanders, that
I
loss
agree.
to the Ravens was more impressive. Jaden Daniels being able to
I don't know
compete.
if it was more impressive.
Jaden Daniels being able to compete with the team in our top 5 of the power
I'm
rankings.
I'm only disagreeing because if you count made field goals, the Jets win. You can't say that with the Commies.
yeah,
that's
but
the
I mean,
only
if
reason
they
I'm
make the
disagreeing.
field goals, the Bills' play callings are different.
No,
you know,
but
like-
I'm just saying that's the only reason I'm disagreeing. But I agree. Like the Commies had a great game.
no, yeah. I mean,
Jaden Daniels, this might have been his second worst
the
game.
Commanders scored 23 on the Ravens, which is good enough. And
But I think
the
Jaden
defense.
Daniels needs to step it up a little bit from last week.
I don't
Last
think he needs to
week
step
was-
it up. I think the
last
defense.
week
the
was one of
defense
his
needs to
worst
step it up.
games.
The defense needs to step it up.
No, but last week was one of his worst
The defense
games.
allowed 30 points though. When the defense allows 30
True.
points, you know how hard
But
it
it's
is
the
to win an
Ravens.
NFL game.
It's
That's
the
what I'm saying. But
Ravens.
if the Commanders have any better of a secondary, or Zay Flowers was feasting because nobody on the Commanders can guard him. You got Benjamin St. Just
We're
and Emmanuel
both taller than
Forbes.
Zay Flowers. How crazy?
Yeah,
is
you
that?
got Benjamin St. Juice and fucking Emmanuel Forbes trying to guard Zay Flowers. Like they're just never gonna win. Draft a corner, sign a corner next season. They're going to the
I
bowl.
got other homework. Number 6, we got the Bills.
Yeah, I think it's fair. Even after that game, I like the Bills. I mean, they're always gonna have some sketchy games like that, but when you have Josh Allen, you belong in the top 6. So fuck it.
Period. Number 5, we got the Lions. Hey, there are 2 teams ahead of my teams, and we beat them both. So I gotta go there. Do your homework.
That is true. However,
Do you think if we play the Lions in the playoffs, we lose?
Yeah.
Mm.
the Lions catch their flow. I think it was the beginning of the season. Teams haven't really caught their flow state yet. Dude, the Lions, oh my God, they're so good. It is going to be weird without them having Hutchinson because Hutchinson's probably like a top 5 pass rusher in the league
No, he
currently.
leads the league in sacks right now.
Yeah, but I'm still not going to say he's the best pass rusher. But Lions have the best run game in the league. They're passing the ball insane. 2 weeks ago, Jared Goff went 18 for 18. They threw the ball amazing against the Cowboys. Like, there's really not many holes in this Lions team, and I love the coaching. I love everything about the team. I think they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to be competing for a Super Bowl once again this season. And
We're already on an hour and a half. We got speed.
fuck it, he had the Lions missing the playoffs and said Jared Goff was out of the top 10, and look at him now.
I'm wrong. We got speed through this. We're already on an hour and a half.
That's right. I have to edit it. I can deal with it.
Number 5, we're at Lions. Or sorry, number 4, we're at Ravens.
Yeah.
They look legit. They're going to keep winning. Anything else you got to add on that kind of quick?
Started off slow. They're winning now, and they caught their stride, and they're going to be in the playoffs easily.
This is the one thing I was wrong about. Texans are legit. I'll admit it. I was wrong. Texans are legit.
Hang on, you just said this was the one thing I'll admit I was wrong about. You were wrong about many things this season. So don't say that, but yes, you were wrong about the Texans. We have them at 3, right?
Yeah, Chiefs we got 2 and Vikings we got 1. Skull! 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 Skull!
December 8th. December
If
8th.
you're going to be at the December 8th Minnesota Vikings game, we'll buy you beer if you comment down below. But you have to comment below within 8 hours.
Falcons at Minnesota, December 8th. The opening kickoff will be at the game. And you know we're going to be fucking screaming. You're going to be fucking creaming. And you know the Vikings are going to win and win the Super Bowl.
We're going to be drinking. We're going to be screaming. We're going to be creaming. Do you got to go there, do your homework.
And I'm going to be dreaming of the Vikings Super Bowl.
So 1 week, the first week, me and Maddox, we're starting off the month of December. Me and him, just us, are flying down to Minnesota. We're going to go watch the Minnesota Falcons game. And then next week, we're doing a boys trip. All of our friends. Not everybody's going to the game, of course, because some people don't care about football, you know. And we're going to go to Houston, and we're going to watch the Minnesota-Houston game.
No, Dolphins.
Sorry, Dolphins-Houston game. I'm a little drunk. And then me, you, and Annie here are going to the Cowboys-Bucks game after
3
that.
back-to-back Sundays we will be at NFL games.
We might just need to do a 4th one.
Let's speed run through our top 10 quarterbacks, and let's get out of here. 8.
All right, at number 10, I got Brock Purdy. I still think, obviously, it's the Mahomes-type deal. We're just doing this season, guys.
We're doing as of week 7, I guess, because week 7 is about to start. As of after week 6.
I think Brock Purdy's way higher. You'd agree Brock Purdy's way higher than 10.
Yeah.
This season, if you look at his stats compared to other guys, not that well, he's still winning games. He's going to be fine.
You're not going to like this. Brock Purdy's not even in my top 10. Number 10, I have Justin Fields. He's only 20.
I don't hate it.
He's 20th in the league in passing yards, but he has 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, like 66 completion percentage, and that's not even factoring in his rushing stats. Had 2 rushing touchdowns last game. I'm a big fan of how Fields has been playing on the Steelers, and I think he cracks the top 10 as of this season, as of right now.
I don't hate it. I honestly don't hate that. I think he's in my honorable mentions. Number 9, I got Jaden Daniels. I think he's going to win you a lot of games. I don't think he's going to lose you a lot of games. But I think he's, like, right there. Like, there's so many good quarterbacks in the NFL, you know? So I got Jaden Daniels right at 9.
This is going to sound so weird coming out of my mouth. At number 9, I have Patrick Mahomes. Making a quarterback list.
You have Mahomes low.
Making a quarterback list and not having Mahomes at 1 is so weird, but we said we were doing this based off of what has happened this season. Mahomes is 15th in the league in passing yards. He has a 6-to-6 touchdown interception ratio, barely under 70% completion percentage.
Wait, he only has 6 touchdowns this year?
6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Wow.
He's not winning them games. It's everything else winning them the games. He's practically a game manager at this point. Don't get me wrong. He's the best quarterback in the league, but statistically right now, you don't get to be put at 1 or even in the top 5 when you're playing.
Number 8, got Joe Burrow. Might be low, honestly, with his stats for this season. He's number 1 in a lot of stuff. But wins, pick up wins, you'll be fine, Joe Burrow.
Number 8, I have Baker Mayfield.
That's too low.
8th in the league in passing yards.
No, that's too low.
He is leading the league in touchdowns, but he also he has more turnovers than every single quarterback on this list. And yeah, I just think the other quarterbacks are better than him.
That's too low. At least you have Baker in your top 10.
There's not a single quarterback above. There's not a single quarterback above Baker that hasn't been outperforming him this season.
Yeah, I mean, you still have him 8. Number 7, I got Lamar. Is that way too low?
Yes.
Lamar has still made some mistakes this season. Hasn't won many games, but I got Lamar right there. They start off really slow. Is their only problem.
Number 7, I have Jared Goff. I'm huge on Jared Goff.
I had Jared Goff higher than you. Wow.
He finally came around, guys. But I just think the guys I have above him are better. There's probably the guy above him I would probably flip. There's a little bit of bias played into there. 12th in the league in passing yards. His touchdown interception ratio isn't crazy. He got a 2-to-1, but his completion percentage has been good, and he's been winning games, so he gets to be at number 7.
I need to do this on purpose. Number 6.
Jared Goff.
Who's number 6?
Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
So you don't even
That's
have him-
fair.
You don't even have him that much higher than
No,
me.
but
You were
that's
saying it's
fair.
too low. Yeah,
what
that's
I have
fair.
is fair.
Then mine's fair too.
Dude, if the interceptions that weren't his fault aren't his fault, is he higher than where you had him?
Probably not. Honestly.
Maybe.
I just
one.
don't think saying interceptions aren't his fault. You can factor in because I mean, yeah, it got
One
tipped. Yeah,
was-
hang
no,
on. Yes,
one
it got
was-
tipped off the D line, but he's the one who threw it at the D
No,
lineman's
I agree.
hand.
I agree. The D line one is iffy. Where your receiver drops it and tips to a corner, that's not your fault.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Number 6, I have Sam Darnold. His stats aren't anything too crazy, but he's 5-0. He's 19th in passing. He's not turning the ball over. He has 11 touchdowns, and he's managing the game probably better than anybody else in the league right now. So he gets to be at number 6, which I would have
Is Sam
never.
Darnold a game manager?
Yes, but I would have never imagined saying Sam Darnold was number 6.
Sam Darnold, come on our podcast, please.
Yeah, I love you,
Dude,
Sam Darnold.
we'll-
I love you, Sam
literally,
Darnold.
I hyped you up. Like, he's a Vikings fan more than I am. I've hyped you up more than anybody.
Yep, that is true. Before the season, he tried to warn me. That's the one. Hey, that's the one hot
And
take.
it's not even on the podcast.
No, you said it week 1, I think. I believe you said it week 1.
I hope I did,
Because
'cause-
you said that you'd rather have him than Jared Goff, which still was wrong, but you had him really high on your list. So
I still have him over Jared Goff. Number 5, I got Jared Goff. I was
also have him
wrong.
over Jared Goff right now. One spot above him.
Man, Jared Goff, dude. I'm sorry. I'm still going to shit on Jared Goff. Because he is a system.
And you put him above Baker Mayfield. I'm finally right. He said Tua was better than Jared Goff, and I was right all along. Sorry.
Man, Jared Goff's just so good, dude. Here's the thing. I think him and Dan Campbell's brain, like, work together so
He
well.
is the perfect quarterback for that line
He is a
system.
system quarterback. Not
Partially,
shitting
yes.
down Jared. I'm not shitting on Jared Goff.
Managing the system
But
is
I
not
don't
a bad
think
thing.
anybody could run the Lions team better than Jared Goff.
Exactly. He is the perfect quarterback for that system. What are we at? Number 5?
5, yeah.
Number 5, I have Joe Burrow. The record's not crazy, but he is
I like
5th
him.
in the NFL in passing yards. He has 12 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. Give Joe Burrow literally one single defensive weapon on the side of the ball. They probably have 3 or 4 wins this year. Do we got to go there? Do your homework. Joe Burrow at
There you
number
go.
5.
Number 4, I got Sam Darnold.
A little bit higher than me, but I
The only
I think
reason,
that's a little
the
high.
only reason is, I think for quarterback, wins is a completely necessary category, and that's gonna get into my number 3.
but
Who's
I
not
kind
as
of
high?
disagree because
Here's the thing: there's quarterbacks, fuck interceptions, fuck touchdowns, let's get wins, and I respect that.
I agree, but like my thing with Burrow, like you had Burrow low. Burrow's playing almost perfect football, and he's losing games for things he can't control. Burrow can't go out there and
No,
play
I agree,
corner.
but only people I have over Burrow is Lamar. That's completely fair. Baker, you know me, that's fair, and Jared Goff. Like, come on.
I think Burrow deserves to be above
Well-
Jared Goff and Sam Darnold this year.
But I'm saying, but that's 2. You know, what I'm saying, like, we're not that far off.
What are we at? Number 4?
4, yeah.
4, I have Josh Allen. The stats I have written down aren't updated after this game. I don't, what are you doing?
Dude, Jared, that's low for Josh Allen, dude.
No, the guys I have above him, I'm glazing. But actually,
Dude,
no,
I can't
hang
wait.
on, no,
till
no,
we
no.
get
I'm
to
gonna
more on the list.
I'm gonna flip flop.
No,
4
don't
and
flip
3.
off. Keep it.
No, no, no. I genuinely I wrote down some things that made me realize. Number 4, I have Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is 9th in the league in passing yards. Isn't turning the ball
Okay,
over.
I thought
Is
you
rushing the
forgot
ball
Jaden
great.
Daniels.
Is rushing the ball great and is leading the league in completion percentage. He cracks the top 5 and is at.
Is he
number
still
4
leading
on
the
my
league
list.
completion percentage after last week?
He's 75%.
Wow, good shit, Jay Daniels. Number 3, this is my hottest take, and you're gonna disagree. It is what it is. Patrick Mahomes.
I don't disagree. It's Patrick Mahomes.
It's Patrick Mahomes. I get he has not been playing.
The only reason I had him low is
he's
because you
on-
said we were doing it based
no,
off this season.
But the only reason I'm high, he's undefeated. And here's the thing. He is the GOAT, second best NFL player of all time.
Probably
and
will
he's
be the GOAT.
undefeated.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, imagine if Brady was like, I'm not shitting on Brady, I'm not saying anything, but it's like Brady's undefeated, and he's not playing that good, but he's still undefeated.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So now number 3, I have Josh Allen. These are the stats that I wrote down before the game. He's like about 20th in passing. Before the game, he was 8-0 touchdown interception. I don't think he threw an interception that game, so he has yet to throw an interception
He
this
hasn't thrown an
season.
interception this year? Hey, dude, that's insane.
That is unlike Josh
Was
Allen.
Stephon Diggs the problem?
Hey,
You gotta go there,
hopefully,
do your homework.
hopefully I'm right about that. I think I'm correct about that. Hopefully I'm not talking.
You
out of
gotta
my
be.
ass.
We're having sports.
But he's playing pretty
podcast.
damn good, and that is outside of his rushing stats, which his rushing stats haven't been anything too crazy this year. But Josh Allen,
You know who leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns besides Justin Fields? Baker Mayfield.
That's crazy.
Baker
in
Mayfield
quarterbacks
has
and
2 or 3. Yeah,
for a second, I thought you were talking
Baker
about
Mayfield has more rushing touchdowns than Bijan Robinson.
Baker's leading the league in touchdowns. And he has 18 touchdowns. That's crazy. But yeah, number 3, Josh Allen. He's gonna win you games. He has that dog in him.
Dude, this is crazy. I think we might have the same number 1.
No, you already said the guy that I have number 1. Don't even try to guess. Just get into your number 2.
Is Jared Goff number 1?
No, just get into number 2.
Number 2, I got Josh Allen.
Okay.
He's played so damn good this year, and I don't think any of their losses are necessarily his fault. The only one that you could put on him is the Texans loss, but that's only because the play calling fucked him right there.
Yeah. Number 2, I have C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is playing some damn good football. We were impressed last year. He looked composed as a rookie, wasn't turning the ball over. He looks even more composed this year. Still, he's kind of turning the ball over, but I mean, it's at a higher rate than the last season, but his rate last season was so low that you can't really compare it to that. He's 6th in the league in passing yards, has 10 touchdowns, and a good completion percentage. C.J. Stroud has that dog in him.
Do you know who my number 1 is? Who I haven't said so far.
I actually don't think I know. Go ahead.
C.J. Stroud.
Oh, yeah. I'm so slow.
And that's me putting him number 1 is not even.
Yeah.
He has 1 loss.
I have
Who is
number
his
2.
1 loss?
The Vikings, the best defense in the league.
Dude. And he, played decent for the Vikings defense, man.
No, he did not. I don't think they had a single
Decent.
touchdown.
I'm saying he played decent for the Vikings defense.
No, compared to other teams, other games
He
we
played better than Brock Purdy against the Vikings defense.
No, he didn't. He threw 2 interceptions against the Vikings defense.
I think Brock Purdy threw 2
Threw 1.
as well. Wow.
Threw 1. He played worse than
So
Jordan
he had
Love.
1 shitty week.
But I know I'm not holding. I literally have him at 2. But number 1, the guy that you had way too low is Lamar Jackson, who started off slow this year. He's 7th in the league in passing yards, has 10 touchdowns to 2 interceptions,
Wow.
67 completion percentage, and that's not.
Well, you also looked up facts before I was going off the dome.
And that's not factoring in Lamar Jackson's rushing stats, and he's the best rushing quarterback in the league. He might go for another fucking MVP. These numbers that he's putting up are insane. He's not turning the ball over. He's rushing the ball well, and he is throwing the ball probably better than we've ever seen him throw it. Dude,
All right.
Lamar's playing like the best quarterback in the league, and it's insane.
Buccaneers, please beat Lamar. So,
Oh, did you write down honorable mentions?
I know, right?
My 3 honorable mentions go to Kirk Cousins, Jordan Love, and Justin Herbert. I literally had Justin Herbert at 10. I was like, nah, fuck it. I gotta
Those
put
are
Fields.
perfect.
I gotta
Those
put
are
Fields in
perfect.
there.
Those are perfect.
That's the end of episode 7. Episode 7 of season 1. Thank you for tuning into episode 7. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss next week. Hopefully, this week was good enough that it made up for the bad
So
call.
far, everything's looking good, man.
This felt like a pretty good episode. Everything recorded fine. Hopefully, it goes the same whenever we start editing. But yeah, make sure to comment your hot takes so we can react to them. That's all for week 7. Thank you, guys. Anything you want to add?
Ravens, Buccaneers are coming for you. Hurricane Milton is going to happen to you. We're coming. Let's go.
I'm putting $500 on the Ravens to win.